If you're considering whether or not you should hire a financial planner, there are 4 C's that you need to think about: cost, convenience, comfort, and competence. And when you put those 4 together, you're going to have a pretty well-defined yes or no answer on if it's worth it to you to hire a financial planner. So let's talk about what those 4 C's are and how you can use them to evaluate your own situation. So let's start with convenience. For a lot of people, there's a huge opportunity cost to managing your own money. Let's say you're a doctor and you make $500,000 a year. You are probably able to figure out your own finances, do your own investments and all of that, but it comes at the cost that you're not able to do your day job while you're doing that. If you're making $500,000 a year, that means you're making on average about $250 an hour. If you would have spent maybe, let's say, $5,000 on having a financial planner work for you, but the alternative was you put maybe 50 to 100 hours educating yourself, opening accounts, doing transfers, investing, then it might be worth it to you just to have a financial planner just for the convenience. Even if the dollar number doesn't necessarily add up to the same amount, then it's good to factor convenience into it. Let's say, another example, you're a retiree. You don't necessarily have all the time in the world to live the rest of your life out, and you want to spend as much of it as possible with your family. And so even though you might be able to do it yourself for cheaper, you want to have that time for more important things. Convenience is talking about the opportunity cost, and that's our first C. The second C is something called comfort. And this is actually really interesting. When people's net worth starts to creep into the $1, $2, $3 million range, studies have shown that psychologically it's very stressful to manage that money on your own. And so people hire financial planners to offload stress. You're offloading the responsibility for your investments and for your taxes and for your insurance onto somebody else who you know is an expert and who hopefully you trust is going to do a good job for you on that. And what that can be beneficial for is if you're having trouble sleeping at night, or let's say you have marital troubles around money. A financial planner can come in and help do all of these things for you. And this is a little bit less of a tangible benefit, and so it's really going to be in your personal wheelhouse what you consider to be a correct benefit for what you're paying. So that's another reason, a big reason to consider when you're thinking, should I or should I not hire a financial planner? Am I getting extra comfort? Am I sleeping better at night because I have this expert working for me? Now, the third area, which is what most financial planners focus on, is competence. I like to talk about this in terms of, if you've ever heard the phrase, you don't know what you don't know. Hiring a financial planner is somebody who has been through dozens of retirements, who has been through business sales, who knows how to invest $1 million because they've invested $1 million before. You only get one life, and most people only get one chance to invest their nest egg in the proper way. And falling into some pretty common traps can lead to you losing a lot of money, whether that be directly through bad investments or indirectly through things like not optimizing your tax strategy, not having a proper estate plan, not managing the risks properly. If you want somebody who might be able to invest better, who might be able to strategize better, who might be able to help you save taxes, because a good financial planner should be helping you save taxes. Somebody also who's going to help you manage risk. All of these are things that a good financial planner will be able to help you with. And most people that I know that are very smart people and more on the do-it-yourself side, they can get about 80% of the way there doing it themselves. And so if a financial planner is going to be really expensive, doing it yourself can make a lot of sense, as long as you understand that there are probably going to be some gaps in your knowledge that could be filled there. Okay? And that brings us to our last C, which is cost. Now, this is the big one, and with good reason. Cost is the number one driver of poor investment returns. What that means is the number one reason that people perform poorly in their investments is because they're paying too much for it. So When you come to a financial planner and he says, let's say I'm going to charge you 1% of your assets, or maybe I'm going to charge you a $10,000 a year fee, or let's say they're more of an insurance salesperson and you don't see those costs, but somebody's obviously paying them indirectly or directly. Now, what you need to determine is, first of all, how much am I actually going to pay this person? If they charge as a percentage of assets, well, how much are you going to give them to manage? If you give them $1 million and they charge you 1%, you're paying them $10,000 a year. And you have to consider, is this providing enough convenience and enough comfort and enough competence to justify that cost? Where this gets a little bit tricky is when you're working with a financial advisor who works on commission, because you don't actually know exactly how much you're being charged behind the scenes. In these cases, it really comes down to a question of, do you really trust that this person has your best interests at heart? And maybe should you go get a second opinion that's going to give you an alternate view and either verify or go against the advice that you've been given. So I hope these 4 C's have been valuable to you. If you've determined that you don't need a financial planner, that's great. I encourage you to continue to learn more about personal finance so you can be the best financial planner for yourself until you need a professional. If you did determine that you need a financial professional to help you, go ahead and give me a call. My contact information is in the description. And if you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate a subscribe and a like on the video.